Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Indisec 2009. We are at the Taser International stall. I'm sure all of us would have been very familiar with these movies, these Hollywood movies where you have the bad guy nailed by this particular taser gun, which is what Tom Smith, who is the chairman of the board, and he's come all the way from the US, he's going to tell us about its capabilities of how Hollywood movies have used this to actually bring bad guys down. Tom.
Thank you. It's basically we use electronics and we transmit a signal up to 10 meters away into a person to incapacitate them. So we can stop somebody, but we don't have to take a life. So we're giving them the non-lethal option to end confrontation safely and effectively in over 45 countries around the world. So we have two systems. The handheld device that I have like this fires out two darts that are attached by wire. So that limits us to the distance of 10 feet. We also have a shotgun system in partnership with Mossberg that will reach out to 30 meters, and it'll actually fire a projectile that is totally self-contained. So it's our foray into the wireless world, and that will incapacitate multiple subjects at a much longer distance. And then we're also now going into where we're able to provide on-officer video that I'm wearing on the head here that allows you to capture the video directly from the officer's perspective so that as we're doing the interview, you can see on the video exactly what I see. Because then we can capture all of that digital evidence and download it to the internet and provide case management in one central location of not only video, but any digital media that could be useful to help the police or military prosecute somebody. And it also gives geospatial mapping. We have GPS built into the system as well as radio integration. So we're much broader than just a weapon system. We're now going into protecting the truth, protecting life for citizens around the world.
Is this data going to be admissible in US courts?
Absolutely. That's primarily where it was built. As you know, the United States is very litigious, so this system is being built where the officer can never alter the video, and we capture the video in its original format so that it can be presented in a courtroom setting.
Given the fact that the taser gun, suppose if this particular shotgun version is to be used against a target at closer quarters, like say at 8-9 meters. Now, because the officer using this gun doesn't have a choice of the range, wherever the attacker is, wherever the person is to be suppressed. If he uses it, say 9 meters, is this going to be a problem? Will it affect the attacker in a lethal way? Will it,
No, we obviously recommend the same as any impact munition, which the closest you would want is 15 meters. But we've actually tested this as close as a half a meter to show that it does not penetrate. So while not optimal, it will not become a lethal situation, even in a close range battle.
One of the concerns that industry has, or that the private sector in India has, is the fact that the Arms Act does not allow for the private licensing of weapons to militia. You can have an individual license. So this limits the amount of firepower that a private security force can use. The basic concern over here is that people are assuming, or they have this notion that the taser is using an explosive cartridge, very much like a bullet, to send out this projectile which has a wire connected to it, and therefore it comes under the Arms Act, and therefore it cannot be freely licensed and supplied to private militia.
Yeah, we use on our wired-based systems like the taser device, compressed nitrogen to launch the range. We do not use a primer to launch the projectile. So even in the United States, we are not considered a firearm because of that. The shotgun system, absolutely, it uses a primer to fire downrange, but the wired taser device does not use it. It's just compressed air. So it's much more like an air gun than it is a firearm.
Is that, in that case, is it possible for, say, women and other people who are not part of the paramilitary or the military forces to actually use it for self-defense?
We're working on that right now. Our primary focus today is law enforcement, private security, and the military. But at this point, I don't believe a civilian can have it in India yet. But that will be reviewed, I think, when they look at the Arms Act.
Because many of our viewers would be from the power and the oil and gas sectors. Here are two situations. One, if you are in a power plant, where there is electricity all around you, this could be an electricity substation. Will there be interference, magnetic interference or any other interference that will, from the taser to the substation to the electrical equipment and vice versa? Will that be a problem?
No, we're operating on a very small power source, basically the same batteries that run most digital cameras. So we produce a high voltage, but it's very, very low current, so very low electromagnetic radiation from the device. So it won't have it. We've done testing, for example, in an emergency room that it doesn't affect any very sensitive hard equipment or any of those types of devices.
Finally, in the oil and gas sector, if you're in a situation where you're in an oil rig or at a gas station, yeah, and there may be oil vapors or gas vapors around, and there is a threat of ignition. So you dare not use electricity or lighters or anything that will, so you need to use a taser-like weapon perhaps, but will taser be safe to use in that sort of an environment?
Well, we do have them being used at refineries now, for example, at Saudi Aramco, the largest oil company in Saudi Arabia. However, you have to look at if the vapors are condensed enough where they would ignite with a spark, we certainly generate a spark, so that could be a negative outcome. So in certain scenarios, no, and in other scenarios, yes. It's going to really depend on the policy and the procedure and the location on where the device is being used.
Do you already have a large client base in India, or are you actively just looking for clients now onwards?
We have 2 states in the country right now that are using it, and we have many, many others that have expressed interest. So we literally are just getting started within the last 12 months, but we're seeing a very high level of interest and a very excited industry, since we're now in 45 countries around the world that have kind of established the technology, and especially with the Commonwealth Games coming next year and the heightened sensitivity to terrorist activities, to be able to catch them and figure out what they're doing rather than just destroy the targets become a huge focus.
Finally, is this a product that finds easy application in the aviation sector?
Absolutely. We have several airlines around the world that have been using these on board since 2004. A lot of airports, for example, London Heathrow, the British Bobbies are carrying tasers on their belts there. So we have a lot of applications within the aviation industry, because you're usually around so many people that are just transiting or in a group, and this is very much select your target and incapacitate. It doesn't affect others in the area. And again, with it being non-lethal, there's the very minimal risk of anybody else getting injured.